So first of all, I would like to thank IFE and Dr. Rav Chiller. They have really, helped me a lot in making the part of the Indian Fire Service. We are a very big fire research group in the US, and we are really looking forward to do something for the Indian Fire Service. And I think this conference was the greatest opportunity to connect with the Indian Fire Service. I really appreciate it. This was a very pleasant experience. I met a lot of people, a lot of fire chiefs from all across India here. So this was a very good opportunity for us to connect with the Indian Fire Service and understand their needs. And in future, we are looking forward to do research with them. So when you talk about the infrastructure, I'll give you one example. So most of the houses in the US are made up of wood, whereas here it's made up of concrete, right? So we get 4 different seasons. We have cold winter with snow, whereas here we don't see that in most part of the India, right? And that has a different challenge. The weather, it's in Bombay, so where I'm from, Bombay, and it's hot, humid, extreme, and that completely changes the fire behavior. So in case of when you have hot weather, you have something called reverse stack effect. So typically you will see the fire goes up, the smoke goes up. But when you have hot weather outside and the air conditioning inside the building, the smoke can actually go down, and it's called reverse stack effect. So most of the procedures in the US are for the stack effect, whereas here we may have to consider reverse stack effect where the smoke actually comes down. So there's multiple scenarios like that. Also, the infrastructure is very different. In the US, everything is just block by block by block, whereas here we have one gully and there may not be a hydrant there, and the resources are totally different. The number of firefighters covering the area are different. The population is different. So if the population is so big, the number of fires and their frequency is going to go up. And what are the resources that they have, the equipment that they need? So it's a completely different ballgame. And that's why I was recommending that we need to, instead of trying to mimic or trying to get inspiration from NFPA or the other Western countries, we should do research for India, within India, for the Indian people and Indian community to address the challenges that we have. And I'm sure we have such a huge talent in India. So I think we can really make an impact, not just for our community, our society, but across the globe. I think we just have to plant the seed somewhere. The government plants that seed. If they give funding, initial seed funding, or the funding most of the funding that I have is from the government also, the US government. And I think the Indian government can also play the same role. Maybe establish a National Fire Research Foundation here and give them the facility. Like one of the expertise that we have, we burn buildings and study firefighting procedures and then train firefighters for it, which requires a lot of money and resources. And that we need that in here also. So I think there has to be some push from Indian government, and I'm sure people will get the inspiration and people will be a part of it. Eventually we can make everyone safer in India, and hopefully we'll make an impression across the globe.